Applied spirituality. Spirituality, moreover, being an inner quality, has to be applied if its external actualization is to take place. There was once a human who left their home and all their possessions, even sold off their precious Ferrari, and went off into the jungle to live all alone in close proximity to the trees, the flowers, and the animals. His purpose was to attain spirituality in communion with nature. He may have reached his goal, but his spirituality was only a matter of personal solace, and as such was limited in its reach. It was not applied spirituality, that is, spirituality through which others gained from one's personal spiritual experience. Practically, there's a vast difference between the spiritual person who lives within the society and shares his or her spiritual experience with other fellow humans, and the one who dies in solitude without ever sharing their experience or benefiting others. Spirituality fosters the development of all kinds of constructive qualities, and in doing so makes one a complete person. An individual endowed with such qualities is one who is wanted and needed by their society and their nation. They will be wasting their spiritual treasures if they leave the society and go off to some jungle to live alone in peace and tranquility. This is, of course, a manifestation of spirituality, but in a very narrow form, and living like a hermit means a serious underutilization of the gifts of a spiritualized person. In fact, the spiritualized person is the most desirable individual when it comes to establishing a better society. A better society being nothing but a collection of better people. And it is true that spirituality turns one into a better person. To create a civilized society and keep it running on course, we need professionally trained people at the helm of affairs. Without such trained people, it is impossible to have a properly structured society. There is a similar need of spiritual individuals, for spirituality makes one a better and a more mature person in terms of character and honesty, duty consciousness, and mental preparedness. As such, the guidance of a spiritual person is more superior nature, and therefore that spiritual person is best qualified to steer the engine of social existence along the right lines. It is thus such spirituality that we have called applied spirituality. In the basic sense, spirituality is a personal asset, but in its expanded sense, it has many applications. Where spirituality is an individualized matter, applied spirituality is a universalized form of it. It is not only others who benefit from applied spirituality, the spiritual person himself or herself also benefits. When such a person devotes themselves to sharing their spiritual training with others, they add a whole new dimension to their own spirituality. Experience can be gained only within the society. Moreover, experience adds wisdom to one's spirituality. Without wisdom, spirituality is incomplete. Spirituality plus wisdom gives rise to the emergence of a superior state of being. Spirituality with wisdom is everything. Spirituality without wisdom is little better than an abstraction. Spirituality, moreover, being an inner quality, has to be applied if its external actualization is to take place. Applied spirituality means living in a society as a spiritual giver. Just as a cow is the giver of milk, which is good for physical health, one who has the capacity to apply their spirituality is the giver of such assistance as will be good for intellectual health. What is applied spirituality? If you discover the value of well-wishing and decide to live as a well-wisher for all humankind, then you are the one who engages in spirituality that is applied. Likewise, if you've had a bad experience with your neighbors, but avoid treating this as a departure from normalcy and face those neighbors with a smile, then that too is an example of applied spirituality. Spirituality comprises a set of values, and applied spirituality means practicing these values in conjunction with your fellow humans in the society. Applied spirituality is ostensibly a matter of giving, but every instance of giving is paralleled by an instance of receiving. That is the law of nature. According to this law, the giver is not simply a giver. The giver is also a receiver of many things: appreciation, goodwill, better relations, peace from those who are the objects of their generosity.